Buen día tengan todos ustedes, mi nombre es Adrián, reportando desde Los Ángeles, California para jamonpodcast.com. Me encuentro ahora con Buckley, baterista de Shakira, Damien, Daniel Powter, entre muchos otros. Así que chequen esto. How are you, Brendan?
I'm well. You?
Doing good? I'm doing good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Thanks for receiving us. So nice of you.
My pleasure.
So the first question is, I know you started playing trumpet and piano when you were younger, and then you bought a drum set because you like to play beats and stuff like that. But then you saw a friend of yours, a drummer, who was playing groups, so you were kind of impressed with that and you like it a lot. So it wasn't in that moment when you get serious on drums?
Yeah, that was probably the moment that I realized that maybe I would need more help than just being a self-taught guy.
Right.
I think that was the moment I said, you know what, maybe I would progress faster if I had some help.
Right.
So, meaning professors or schools or whatever. I think before then I had a used drum set and I would just play and practice and put on headphones and I thought I was doing really great, you know. I'm like, oh, this is awesome, I can play this beat, you know. And then I started meeting other drummers, you know, similar to my age, but they were doing fantastic things that I couldn't figure out.
Okay.
And I was like, how did you learn that? How did you learn that? Like, my teacher taught me this. And so I'm like, I need a teacher.
When you were at the music university in Florida, did you have a plan for the future, or it was more like, let's just go with the flow kind of thing?
I didn't really have a plan. I still don't know if I have a plan. I kind of go with the flow every year. But yeah, that was the University of Miami, is the school you were talking about.
Yeah.
And yeah, I went to that school after high school. It was my college. And I didn't really have a career idea. All I know is that I liked playing the drums, probably more than anything else in my life at that time.
Right.
So I wanted to continue doing that. And I heard that there were conservatories and music schools where you can actually go to college for drums. And I'm like, I can go to college for drums, that's amazing. I think I had a good role model in my drum teacher, who was Tommy Igo. He was both my drum teacher and kind of my early role model too, because he was a guy he would tour, he would play sessions, he would teach, he would write, he'd have a studio like in his house, he had all these different things. And for me, it wasn't just like a 45-minute drum lesson on a drum pad. He would bring me over his house and show me how to use a computer, show me how to use a drum kit, bring me to his gigs.
Oh, cool.
Show me what it's like not just to play the gig, but to load in and load out, all the intricacies. If he was on tour, even when I was in Florida and he was on tour, I'd come to see his shows, so I'd see what it was like for him to be on tour. Hotels, vans, sound checks. Okay. So I think I was young, but I was seeing what it was like to be a professional drummer. Yeah, so I guess I kind of looked up to that, and maybe I wanted to do what he did, without maybe subconsciously I wanted to do what he did.
Yeah, right. I noticed in your resume you have a lot of Latin American artists. Like, how come that you get all those gigs?
I think it mostly came from my work living in Miami. I mean, I was into Latin music before I even moved to Miami, again, through my teacher. He really turned me on to a lot of Brazilian stuff, a lot of Afro-Cuban stuff in my drum lessons, but I didn't really know the culture that well. I just knew patterns. I knew a samba, I knew a cascara, I knew all these things, but I didn't know what that meant. Then when I moved to Miami and I made all these friends that, you know, from South America, from the Caribbean, from Central America, it really started to connect the dots. I understood the different cultures, the languages, the foods, the accents in the language, the rhythms, the folkloric music, and I think I was very into it. Okay. And I think maybe I was always like the white gringo dude in the Latin band in every band I was in, because I'd be really into learning whatever it was they were doing. So I would always get hired, and I would just quickly try to adapt.
It seemed like your whole career is based on relations, like who knows you and who you know.
Yeah.
So, and that's pretty common. So do you have any tip or advice to people in not just how to get this relation, but how to maintain this relationship?
Yeah, that's really important. Anytime I do a clinic, I try to explain to people that just sitting in a practice room and being an amazing drummer will only get you halfway there, because you have to. The other half is being hired.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how do you get hired? You know, even if you start your own band, you have to hire other guys. How are you going to know those other guys? How are you going to know the owners of the clubs who are going to book you? It's relationships. One thing you can do is go to a music school, because you're basically in a community, a peer group of all people trying to do the exact same thing you're doing, all similar age, similar skill levels, and you just form these bonds, these cliques that last throughout life. I still have friends now that I went to college with, that I went to high school with, all musicians. And a lot of them live in LA, some in New York, some other parts of the world. We still work together, go hang out together. But if you don't go to music school, you can still meet tons of musicians just at jam sessions, at gigs, like different venues, local venues. You can meet them at things like music stores or concerts or anything, festivals. And it's kind of like I don't want to say you should just go to a gig and then just hand out 500 business cards to everyone you meet there too. You can't go overboard.
Right.
It's got to be cool, you know. You got to be casual about it. But if you go to see a band and you really like the drummer, when he's done, he gets off a stage, wait for him to pack up and say, "Hey, I just wanted to say hi, and I really like what you do, and I'm a new drummer in town, and I'm, you know, looking for a band to play into or something." The guy might be a jerk. The guy might be the nicest guy in the world. And if he's the nicest guy in the world, he's like, "Give me your number. If I hear of anything, I'll let you know." And that happens a lot. So I'm constantly getting numbers or giving out numbers of different musicians. Some new bass player moves to town and says, "Hey, if you hear of anything, let me know." I'm like, "Okay." And then a week later, someone says, "Man, I'm looking for a bassist for my band." I'm like, "I met a guy last week." So, and you're just constantly making those connections. So I have a lot of great friends in Los Angeles now, great drummers, who give me a lot of the work they can't do. And when I'm really busy, I in turn give them the work that I can't do. So it's this very generous, open community of guys all just trying to stay busy.
Yeah, right. Yeah.